What's going on, dividend chasers? It's the Dividend Bloodhound here, back with another investing episode. Today's episode we're answering a very common question, so I've seen at the moment, is can you invest in the ARK ETF on Trading 212? I'm going to do my best to come up with an answer to that question today for you guys and come up with some viable alternatives if not. That all being said, if this video does bring you some value today, it'd be absolutely fantastic if you could hit the like button and even consider subscribing to my channel as well. If you're interested in today's content, do stick around after the intro where we'll get right on into it. Catch you on the other side. Hey again guys, welcome into the video. So today we are looking at ARKK ETF and can you invest in it on Trading 212? Well, let's actually start with what ARKK is. It is an actively managed ETF aiming for high growth over the long term. The fund is managed by a household name, that is Cathie Wood. That name probably will, if you've been investing in the growth stocks over the last year or two or longer, you will definitely recognise her name. The ETF is currently worth $8.9 billion, which is absolutely huge, and typically consists of holdings of between 35 and 55 positions. ARK ETF's performance over the last 5 years and over the last year or so in particular has been absolutely remarkable, and that has to go down in some credit to, of course, Cathie Wood, the portfolio manager. It has done extremely well in these uncertain times caused by the global pandemic. The last 3 months performance have been plus 29%, and year to date it is up over 83%, which is absolutely insane. And then if we get into the performance over the last year, that is 115%. 3 years is 41% and 5 years is 39%. That is an absolutely insane return on your money over this time period. You really will struggle, as hands-off as it would be, to beat that sort of return on your money, almost no matter where you invested it diversely. If you got lucky and put it all into one stock, which is obviously not recommended, then yes, of course you could beat that. But on such a well diversified fund, getting a better return than that is almost impossible. The best and worst thing about actively managed ETF is, of course, the portfolio manager and the management team. Now at the moment, Cathie Wood is on an absolute roll. She's absolutely turning growth after growth and churning out even triple digit returns on the year. That's fantastic, but this can also be a bad thing as well. If the manager is on a losing streak or whatever, the growth can particularly stagnate. So there's a little bit of a risk element there, but the reason why ARK ETF is so popular at the moment is the continued performance of what I've already mentioned. It is a pretty safe place to put your money, knowing that you're going to get a pretty good return based on previous performance. As we know, past performance isn't a guarantee of future performance, but history does help when you're doing research into ETFs and stock positions, of course. And now for the sad news, unfortunately, you cannot directly invest into the ARKK Innovation ETF on Trading 212 for the moment. Cry. That is a real shame, of course, which is most unfortunate. But with the rate that this has been asked for and the amount of people that have been asking for it, I don't suspect that it will be very long until it does make an appearance on Trading 212. However, in the meantime, there are certain things that we can do. The fantastic innovation that Trading 212 has brought to the market, which is auto investing and pies, means that you can almost create your own ARK ETF yourself, featuring either all the positions that ARK hold in their ARKK holdings portfolio, or even just the top 10 holdings. That will give you a certain amount of growth. Obviously it will expose you to slightly more risk if you only have 10 holdings, but that will still give you the stocks that are in that portfolio, and you can make them into a pie and you can auto invest into them as well, which is an absolutely fantastic option at the moment. ARK ETF's current top holdings are Tesla at 9.9%, Invity at 7.8%, Square at 6.7%, CRISPR Therapeutics at 5.6%, Roku at also 5.6%, Proto Labs at 3.3, Slack at 3.1, Zillow at 3%, LendingTree at 2.9 and 2U at 2.7. That obviously doesn't make up the whole portfolio. In fact, if you actually use the link in the description below, you can get access to all 49 positions that make up the ARK ETF portfolio. And if you so desire to have your pie consisting of 49 positions, you absolutely can. That would massively diversify your risk, but also become very, very difficult to manage and keep on top of everything. And the thing is you're going to have to keep up with Cathie Wood and the decisions that she and her team make when they rebalance this portfolio towards growth. And obviously, being an active ETF that it is, they're going to be tinkering with it quite often, and you're going to need to keep up with this. 49 positions is going to be difficult to do, but something more like 10, 15, 20 positions, that is absolutely doable as long as you are on it. Inherently, if you're going to manage this pie and ETF yourself, even though it's a replica of ARK ETF, you are losing Cathie Wood's management and her management team and the expertise that they bring. Obviously, of course, you save yourself the management fee, which is actually 0.75% minimum, so you'd save yourself that, but also you've got to do a lot of extra work to keep up with the decisions that they make and rebalance it yourself. So of course that is a way off at the moment. You haven't got a choice at the moment because ARK haven't and are not on Trading 212, so you've got to, if that's what you want to do, then that's what you have to do, is actively manage it yourself. But in the future, if that does become available, and you might want to even liquidate your pie at that point and hand it all over to Cathie Wood managing it based on how good she is doing. I'm going to quickly take you into my app now so we can have a look at the portfolio pie that I've set up mimicking ARKK ETF, or at least their top 10 positions. You have to be careful with the weightings on this one because obviously, as I mentioned earlier on in the video, those top 10 positions only make up a certain percentage of the portfolio, and then you've got the other 39 positions that will of course make up the rest. So it's going to be up to you how you do your weightings there. You could replicate and extrapolate out just how much the 10 positions are here and make sure that they weigh up just properly for you in terms of the sector that they take, but it is completely down to you. You could split it out 10% a piece, or you could do this, follow the same sort of weightings as ARK does. Let's get in there, let's take a quick look, and obviously my commentary will run over the top. See you in there. Hey again guys, welcome into the app. So here you can see we are in Trading 212. I have my pie set up here and I've actually named it ARKK for reference. And as you can see, I've got 10 positions lined up in it. As mentioned earlier, Tesla, Rocco, Slack, Invitee, Square, CRISPR Therapeutics, Zillow Group, 2U, LendingTree and Proto Labs. And then of course that has weighted them 10% a piece because there is 10 holdings in the pie at the moment. And you can edit that and you can really replicate just how they were extrapolated in the 10 positions in ARK ETF, and that's free for you to do exactly how you choose. You can copy Cathie Wood. If you really wanted to copy Cathie Wood, you could get all 49 positions in here if you really wanted, but as I've already mentioned, that would be a lot to manage. That just adds a splash of colour to this ARK Investing review, so you can have a look at some of the stocks and proof that they're actually on Trading 212, which is obviously a really good thing and something that you can do in the meantime until Trading 212 actually bring ARKK Innovation ETF to Trading 212. That wraps us up there. Just a quick little look there, and I'll see you back outside in the real world. See you there. Welcome back everybody, welcome back to the real world. Short, sharp and sweet, that one right there. So of course you can go a lot further with trying to keep up with the ARK ETF. You can have all 49 positions as I've already mentioned. You could copy mine right there. That being said, I will also post a link to that sharing the pie in the description as well, so you can literally get right on it and copy it out straight away, or just go back over the video if that's what you want to do. There is a ton of information on the ARKK ETF on the internet and on YouTube. You can actually get at their summary and their performance pages on their own website as well. I think 10 to 15 positions would be a good balance to have and would be best for your time to manage and keep up with, because obviously Cathie Wood herself has got a massive team to look after and do research, whereas you're likely just going to have yourself, and obviously you have the massive power of the internet at your fingertips, but sometimes more people looking just has that extra edge, and that is exactly why. If you don't feel like keeping up with the amount of research you'd have to do in either following Cathie Wood and her decisions or following all the stocks individually yourself, then it might be best to either reduce the positions that you're actually going to hold in the portfolio replica, or just wait until ARKK actually comes to trading 212, which I don't think will be in the too distant future at all. For those of you that prefer a more hands-off approach to investing through ETFs, of course, then this may not be for you, because you are going to have to keep up with all the decisions that ARK makes. So maybe it would be in your interest to invest somewhere else in the meantime until, as I've already said, ARK actually appears on trading 212. I genuinely hope you've enjoyed today's video, guys. It'd be absolutely fantastic if you could hit the like button, and if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, it'd be spectacular if you could take the opportunity to do so now, and even consider ticking that notification bell as well, so you get notified when I release brand new content such as this. Thank you very much for watching. I do hope I can see you in another investing episode. Catch you there.